In October 2024, something quietly appeared on Tubi, something so powerful that over 2 million viewers stopped scrolling the moment they saw it. It wasn't a movie, not a documentary, not a comedy special. It was never meant to be seen at all. Hidden in studio vaults for more than 40 years, this lost footage captured Red Skelton in a way no audience had ever witnessed. No jokes, no characters, no painted smile. Just a man speaking to the camera like it was the last person who could understand him. In the footage, he confessed long-buried truths about his family, his career, and the heartbreak he carried like a shadow. To understand why this emotional recording was finally released, we must look back at the journey of Red Skelton, the man behind the laughter. Red Skelton was born on July 18, 1913, in Vincennes, Indiana, into hardship. His father, Joe Skelton, a clown with the Hagenbeck Circus, died 2 months before Red was born, leaving his family with nothing. His mother struggled to raise 4 boys in poverty, relying on neighbors just to survive. Red grew up wearing rags, going hungry, and feeling like the poorest child in town. But he discovered something early: he could use humor like a shield. A laugh didn't fix things, but it softened the edges of the world. By 7, he was selling newspapers. By 10, he was juggling multiple jobs: ice delivery, laundry, cigar running, anything to bring home a few coins. His schooling was scattered, but every moment spent making strangers smile was a lesson he carried forward. That same year, he ran away and joined a traveling medicine show. For 4 years he performed, slept in barns, and sent most of his pay home. One night he fell through a stage prop. The audience roared, and he realized even mistakes could be turned into joy. At 15, Red dropped out of school. With just $1.35, he hitchhiked out of Vincennes toward Chicago. Soon he was working with circuses, vaudeville acts, and performing silent comedy that would later define him. At 16, he joined the Merry Mutes, a silent comedy troupe, learning how to communicate everything without saying a word. In 1931, he teamed up with Bud Jones, but the act fell apart after a betrayal. Yet from that heartbreak came a turning point. Red met Edna Stillwell, a young usher who became his writer, business manager, and eventually his wife. Together they created the sketch Guzzler's Gin, which made Red a sensation in Chicago. Their success grew, but their marriage cracked under pressure, and their personal relationship collapsed even as his career soared. In 1937, Red joined the Avalon Time radio show and introduced Clemke Diddlehopper, a character who quickly became beloved. By 1941, he earned his own NBC show, The Red Skelton Show, reaching more than 20 million listeners each week. But the pressure was immense. He wrote constantly, worked endlessly, and eventually collapsed during a live broadcast in 1943. After recovering, he returned with comedy that carried deeper emotion beneath the humor. His financial success was huge, but so were his struggles. Red fell into gambling, once losing $50,000 in a single night. Still, his fame grew, especially once he joined MGM Studios. Movies like Whistling in Brooklyn, Bathing Beauty, and The Fuller Brush Man made him one of the studio's biggest comedic stars. Yet behind the scenes, tragedy struck. His young son, Richard Skelton, was diagnosed with leukemia and passed away at just 9 years old. Red kept working, but the grief never left him. Television brought him new heights. In 1951, The Red Skelton Show premiered on CBS, one of the first programs broadcast coast to coast. Characters like Freddie the Freeloader and George Appleby became national icons. He won Emmys, sold out theaters, and captured the hearts of millions. But his personal life again shattered when Edna admitted she'd been having an affair with his producer. Their daughter became trapped in a bitter custody battle, and Red's emotional stability crumbled. Despite all this, he kept performing, even as networks pushed him for edgier content. By the late 1960s, his show still brought in huge ratings, but CBS wanted younger talent. In 1971, The Red Skelton Show was canceled after 20 years. His final words on air were soft and sincere, a whisper goodbye to an era. Then the IRS arrived. Red owed $1.2 million in back taxes. He sold his home and performed in casinos just to survive. In 1976, his wife Georgia Davis died of cancer, sending him into years of isolation. Red eventually returned with TV specials like Funny Faces and Freddy the Freeloader's Christmas Dinner, which aired on HBO and reached millions. But behind the scenes, he battled alcoholism and even collapsed backstage in 1981. When he could no longer handle the stage, he turned to painting, creating more than 50,000 artworks, many of which later sold for thousands. A devastating car crash in 1986 left him with multiple fractures. By 1990, he suffered from severe COPD. He spent his final years quietly painting and donating to children's hospitals. On September 17, 1997, Red Skelton passed away, but his story didn't end there. Lost episodes, censored sketches, and private recordings resurfaced in the decades after his death. And then came the most shocking discovery: the unreleased footage from his 1,980 180 to farewell specials. In that footage, Red Skelton opened his heart. He cried. He confessed secrets. He talked about his father, his son, and the wounds he never healed from. It felt like reading a diary he never meant to share. The restored video showed every tremble, every breath, every moment of truth. For the first time, the world saw not the clown, but the man who carried everyone else's laughter while drowning in his own silence.